You know that moment in the middle of a ride, clouds are building up, your phone battery is dying, Google Maps is lagging, and you're stuck at some random dhaba trying to borrow a charger from a truck guy. Been there, bro. Not fun.
Oh yeah, been there too. Mine was in the middle of the Konkan coast, phone dead, GPS gone, and I had to ask a fisherman for directions. He sent me the opposite way.
That's when it hit me, man. We ride these beautiful retro machines. The classic 350 is all heart, all soul, but doesn't mean we have to ride like it's 1985.
Exactly. Tech's not the enemy, it's how you use it. You can still keep the chrome and the character and slip in a USB charger or a slick phone mount that doesn't look like it came off a scooter.
So today on Man Motorcycle Garage, we are talking smart, subtle tech add-ons for the classic 350. Phone mounts that grip tight, USB chargers that actually work, and GPS holders for those of us who like wandering with a little backup.
And yeah, we'll call out the junk stuff too, because not every biker gadget on Amazon deserves a spot on your handlebar. This is the gear that's been tested, thrashed and survived the potholes. Let's get into it.
So Chris, when I first picked up my classic 350, this was the J series, BS6, I was so obsessed with that stock, clean retro look that I didn't add anything for like 3 months. No phone mount, no charger, nothing. Just me, the bike and vibes.
Yeah, vibes until you're lost in old Bangalore with 3% battery and a dead power bank, right?
Exactly, da. I was trying to find this old mechanic in Baswangudi, legendary with carbs and infields. My phone died mid-route and I ended up at some lady's beauty parlor asking if they'd seen a bike garage nearby. Bloody embarrassing.
Bro, I've had my Interceptor wired up since week 2. Got the quad lock on it, JB Type-C charger, all neat. Learned the hard way during a ride to Tamhini Ghat. Phone dropped from my old mount on a sharp turn, cracked the camera. Never again.
Ayyo, that's exactly why a good phone mount matters. And not just any random clamp from the local accessories shop. I use the Bobo Claw Grip Pro now. Metal body, waterproof, and that vibration damper, it's a lifesaver for my iPhone camera.
You're right about the camera thing, man. These new phones with OIS, they can't handle vibrations. Use a cheap mount and you'll ruin your phone lens faster than a bad chai ruins your mood.
True. And honestly, most classic 350 riders don't realize you need that USB charger, especially if you're touring. The RE stock charger on newer models is okay, but I still prefer the all-extreme dual USB. IP65 rated, simple fit.
I went with the JB Racing one. That digital voltmeter is so handy. Tells me exactly when the battery is getting weak. Plus the USB-C port charges my phone crazy fast. You wire it to the ignition or straight to the battery. Ignition circuit. Fused it properly, no chance of parasitic drain, and no wiring mess because I mounted it off the mirror stem. Clean and out of the way.
See, that's the kind of detail that matters. People just plug stuff into the horn line and then wonder why the fuse keeps blowing every time they honk.
Or worse, they splice into the headlight line and suddenly their charger works only when the high beam is on.
Exactly. We may ride old school, but we can wire like engineers, okay?
And for the tourers listening, you're probably thinking, why GPS? I've got Google Maps. But let me tell you, when you're in a no-network zone in Ladakh or the Western Ghats, your Garmin or TomTom is your best friend.
Yeah, I've got this RAM mount with a sun visor and anti-vibration base for my Garmin unit. Looks clean, doesn't clash with the classic's headlamp dome. And when I ride with my brother's Himalayan 450, I just swap it over. Same mount works.
Wireless charging mounts, bro. What's your take?
Okay, hot take incoming. For city rides and commutes, great. But on a 400-kilometer ride, I still don't fully trust wireless chargers over bumpy roads and rain. Too many variables.
Agreed. Neat idea, but in Indian conditions, I'd say stick to wired.
Bottom line, tech add-ons shouldn't ruin your ride. They should make it safer, cleaner, more functional. Just don't turn your classic into a Christmas tree of gadgets, okay?
One mount, one charger, one nav device. That's it. Keep it classy, keep it clean.
So Chris, if you had to pick just one tech add-on that you can't ride without these days, what's it going to be? No cheating, just one.
Oof. Alright, if I had to pick one, it's the phone mount. Hands down. That quad lock has saved my bacon more times than I can count. And not just for maps, yeah? I use it for music, weather updates, even when I'm stopped at a signal and need to check if the cafe ahead is still open. You sound like a man who's been stood outside too many shut cafes in Goa. Mate, I have trauma. Rode all the way from Siolim to Arambol once, 40 minutes in heat, and the bloody bakery was shut. Never again without live updates.
Fair enough. See, for me, it's the charger. I've been on one too many 200-kilometer runs where Spotify, maps, and calls just suck the battery tray. Now I don't start a long ride without that all-extreme dual USB plugged in and glowing red.
Did you wire that to a relay or direct to battery?
I tried both, but now it's on a relay. Direct to battery was giving me a slow drain, probably because of the voltmeter backlight staying on. And bro, waking up to a dead classic is not how you want to start your Sunday.
Nope, that's heartbreak on two wheels. By the way, you ever try the wireless mounts, those QI charging ones?
Yeah, I tested one from Spigen. Looks sleek, charges decently when the bike's on, but it got hot in traffic. Plus, the moment the roads get bumpy, it starts cutting out. I don't trust it for proper touring.
Same. It's okay for short city hops, maybe office commute, but for rides where your life depends on navigation and battery, stick to wired.
You know what's underrated though? GPS sun visors, especially for riders who use Garmin or even a mounted second phone just for tracking.
True. My cousin's got this rubberized visor setup. He rides Pune to Kolhapur often, and it stops that glare from washing up the screen. Looks proper stealth too.
Exactly. Some of these add-ons don't even cost a bomb. It's more about knowing what works for your kind of riding.
Yup. And not cluttering the bike with 5 gadgets you'll never use. Like, bro, I once met this guy on a ride with a digital compass mounted next to his phone. Said it was for backup.
Did he expect to get teleported to 1974 or what? Bloody hell. Man, some of these jugards are legendary. But at the end of the day, get a solid mount, a reliable USB setup, maybe a GPS if you're a proper tourer, and keep your wiring tight.
And no fairy lights or neon strips around your charger, please.
Yes, please. This isn't a Diwali parade.
Unless you're riding to a wedding in Punjab, then maybe it's acceptable.
Only exception, bro. Only exception. All right, let's land this one clean. If you're riding a classic 350 and thinking tech's not for you, think again. You don't have to turn your bike into a gadget shop, but a few well-chosen upgrades, they will change the way you ride.
Big time. Like, you wouldn't drive a car without a phone charger these days, right? Same logic. If you're doing 100-kilometer rides or stuck in 6 p.m. traffic for an hour, you need that backup.
And these aren't luxury accessories. You're talking $800 for a waterproof dual USB charger, maybe $1,200 for a solid mount like the Bobo Claw. That's less than the cost of one fuel refill, and it could save your ride from turning into a rescue mission.
Yup, and always remember, install it clean. Don't wrap the wires like it's a dosa roll. Get a proper relay, soldered joints, maybe even shrink tubing if you're OCD like me.
Chris does his wiring like it's a military operation. Everything labeled and zip-tied.
Oi, it's called being prepared, mate.
Look, whether you're a weekend cruiser or a daily commuter, your cockpit should make sense for your riding. If you use your phone for maps and calls, mount it right. If you ride late evenings, add a charger. And if you're touring, GPS holder, voltmeter, maybe even a GoPro if you're into capturing the journey.
And the golden rule? One change at a time. See how it fits your flow, then build on that.
Exactly. Don't buy 5 accessories and clutter or bars. You'll end up spending more time adjusting mounts than actually riding.
Also, do a pre-ride check every time. Make sure your mount's tight, chargers connected, no loose wires hanging. One quick 2-minute inspection can save you a lot of drama.
And keep your tools handy. Allen keys, a spare fuse, a USB cable. Throw them in your tool pouch.
That's the difference between a tech-smart rider and a guy who calls his friend at 11 p.m. saying, "Bro, my charger's not working, come pick me up."
We've all been that guy once. No shame. Just don't make it a habit. You know, Chris, when I was a kid, my uncle used to ride this battered old Bullet. No phone, no GPS, no clue where he was going half the time. But every time he came back, he had a story. A wrong turn, a puncture, some stranger offering tea in a village.
Sounds like half my rides, honestly.
Same, bro. And I used to think, man, that's what riding means. But now, I realize being prepared doesn't kill the story. It just gives you more room for the story.
Exactly. You've still got the open road, the thump, the wind, but now maybe your playlist doesn't cut off halfway through, and you don't miss a left turn that costs you 40 kilometers.
So, if you're listening out there, don't treat tech like it's the enemy of old school riding. Treat it like a toolkit. Use what works, chuck what doesn't.
Riding smart is still riding hard. It's not soft to want a working charger or a stable mount. It's sensible.
And on that note, ride safe, charge well, and may your phone never vibrate itself to death on a pothole near Tumkur.
That's oddly specific, mate.
No comment. Smirking.
Alright, folks, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Man Motorcycle Garage. We'll see you next week, same thumb time, same thumb station.
Until then, keep your lines clean, your tech tighter, and your thumb timeless.